got the routine comment. Got a question on that?
All right, now let me just start this out so that nothing bad happens here today and I don't have to get on national TV doing bad things. I'm focused on one thing, one game that we play on Saturday. On right now, not what's going to happen next week or 2 weeks from now or 2 years from now or 20 years from now. That's all speculation. So, you know, I think it's really important to our players, you know, how they do in games against their rivals. You know, people will ask you that for the rest of your life. You know, how many times you beat this team? How many times you beat that team? I mean, those are important accomplishments to our players. It's important to our players. You know, we had a terribly difficult game here 2 years ago against these guys. So, you know, that's the focus. Now, I was in here on Monday, and I was on a conference call today, and I have yet to be ask a question about the game. Not one. Not one question about the game. So if you don't have a question about the game, do me a favor and don't ask. Because I don't want to get on national TV and embarrass myself anymore this week. Is that fair enough?
One way that Tennessee seems to be like Alabama is it doesn't give up the ball a lot. Is there something that you've seen that they're really good at in that regard? And is that something defensively you'd like to see your team do better in creating turnovers?
Well, I don't think that we've sort of reached our goals in terms of, you know, we want to get three turnovers a game in every game. And I think there may have only been one game this year where we accomplished that. We've gotten 2 in several games, but not 3. I think we've done a really good job of not turning the ball over, which ball security is extremely important, and that's something for everybody to understand. It's something that we really emphasize here every day. The first thing we do in the meeting is put up a sheet, you know, who created a turnover, who got a turnover, you know, who batted balls, you know, all those kinds of things to get an emphasis, you know, on trying to create turnovers. I think when you play well-coached teams, which I think Tennessee is a very, very well-coached team, you know, those are the things that coaches emphasize. So you see the result of that and how they play. And, you know, their quarterback does a good job of getting the ball to the right place. You know, this is one of the best well-coached teams in the passing game that we play. And they're probably leading the league or 54% or 5th in the country or whatever on third down conversions because of that. They ran the ball effectively last week. They ran the ball on us last year. So, you know, this is a, you know, I have a lot of respect, you know, for this football team, and I think they're playing a lot better on defense. So, and they do a lot of things that are difficult on defense in terms of their 8-man fronts and all that type of stuff.
I was going to ask about some kick coverage issues you had last Saturday in the game and how y'all looked in practice this week with kick coverage going into the Tennessee game.
Well, it's something that we really emphasize, that's for sure, and we're you know, working hard at. You know, I think everybody on the team, on the coverage team, needs to understand they have to do their job. And you know, we had sort of didn't do a good job from inside out last week, and when they run side returns, and you don't do a good job from inside out, you got guys that are fitting a wedge from outside, then you don't have any overlappers. And, you know, that's what happened to us a couple times. So I think our players are aware of it. I think they are working hard to try to get it corrected. And, you know, this is something that has been pretty good for us. I also think that we need to get the ball kicked more consistently, you know, down inside the 5-yard line. I mean, Cage is certainly capable of kicking touchbacks. I think we've only had a couple or one this year. So all those things contribute to how well you cover. Is, you know, where are your coverage people when the guy catches the ball? And that's the first thing I look at. Now, it's the speed of the coverage team, but it's also how the ball gets kicked. So all those things are issues that, we need to improve on, and we've worked hard on this week, and I think we made some improvement on.
Could you give us an update on Anthony Steen, if you think he'll play in this game? And during the media viewing periods, we haven't seen Barrett do a lot of work. Is he okay?
Yeah, I think Barrett is fine. We had a couple guys today that didn't do a whole lot, but they're expected to be able to play in a game. These concussion things are really day to day. With the technology that we have, you can give a guy a score, and Steen's score has come down significantly, and so tomorrow, if it's down, he can practice. If it's down by Saturday, he could play in the game. So, but I can't determine that. I can't say he can or can't or will or won't, because it's a safety issue for the player. And I'm glad we have this kind of technology, now. I know when I played, I got knocked out a couple times. I went right back in, or went back in the next day, and who knows. So anyway, so we just rely on the medical staff to make a determination when he's able to come back, and if he is, we'll certainly play him in a game, or make an assessment of how well he could play in a game, or what his role would be in a game relative to how much he was able to practice.
Coach, people love to talk about the tradition that Alabama and Tennessee game holds. What to you makes this game a little bit more special than the other rivalries? And is there anything that the team does in the week when they prepare that they may not do during the other weeks?
No, we really don't do anything different, in preparation. I think that we always try to make our team very aware of traditions and rivalries, and I don't think that you can be here in Tuscaloosa for very long and not understand that there's a couple rivalries that mean a lot to a lot of people, and this is certainly one of them. And I think we have a lot of respect, for Tennessee, and we have a lot of respect for the rivalry. I thought it was interesting today to find out that there's no rivalry in the league that has won more SEC championships than Alabama and Tennessee put together. So that tells you a lot about the quality through the years, and certainly, we have a tremendous amount of respect for the rivalry and the tradition and what it means to so many people here. And I think that started years and years ago, but it's something that, we really hold in high esteem and want to do a good job and make our people proud, and I think our players do as well.
Can you see a difference in the team's conditioning at this point, having starters being out for most of the fourth quarters, most of these games?
Not really. I don't think that I think conditioning comes in practice. I think that our team was in very well conditioned team when we started the season. We really worked hard through fall camp, and we work on conditioning, but our conditioning regimen actually sort of diminishes, as the season goes on. We do a certain amount of conditioning in the first 4 weeks, then we do a little bit less the next, few weeks, and then, after 6 weeks, we back it off even more. It gets cooler. I think the players, if they're practicing correctly, get enough reps in practice every day to play more than a game. If you counted the reps that a player gets in practice, every rep that he got from the time he's an individual, every drill that he does, every play that he's in 7-on-7, team run, team force drill, kicking periods, they get more plays in practice than they would ever get in a game. And I think if you're practicing correctly and guys are doing the right things and running to the ball and finishing plays, that's their conditioning. So they're sort of well conditioned to the task.
Last one, Dom.
You talk about how with rivalries, these players might remember these kind of games years later. What are the games you remember years later about rivalries?
Well, I guess I can go back through, at Michigan State, Notre Dame was a big rivalry, and You know, we won 3 years in a row.
What about your playing days, though? Was there a big rival?
What I remember from my playing days was Monongah versus Farmington. You heard of either one of those teams? That was our big rivalry. So, but you know, at Kent, I don't know that we really had a big rivalry other than Akron U. And I remember winning one and losing one, and that wasn't fun. You know, at LSU, we didn't really have a traditional rivalry like you do, like we have here. We have two here, you know, one in our state and Tennessee. And I think that really makes it exciting for the players. I mean, I think it's exciting for the fans. There's extra interest, there's added interest, and there's a lot of pride in it for a lot of people. So, and we understand the importance of it, and certainly want to do as good a job as we can do to get our team to play the best that we're capable of playing, so that we have the best opportunity to be successful and represent all those people well.
Also, cigars used to be part of the post-game celebration here when they beat Tennessee. That I'm guessing that's gone away, but is anything special taking its place?
Anything that we do like that, I think is something that's internal to the team, and I don't think it should be a public issue, and we're certainly not going to make it one way or the other.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.